Welcome everybody to Bristol Motor Speedway. We got the in the pits news Truck Series drivers here for chase race number 1. I'm Josh Copperl. I'm joined by Adam Kuhn. How you doing, Adam?
Doing good, Josh. Great to be here. Excited to kick off this chase. It's been what we've been waiting for all season, and it's crunch time right now. 8 races, excuse me, 4 races to go for these 8 drivers who are mathematically left eligible for this championship.
Yeah, it's this is going to be a good one, especially because you look at the schedule. 3 different kinds of short tracks, followed by Kansas and a mile and a half. And these short tracks we've seen have been kind of dominated by Carl Felver, who currently sits P1 on the board. You look, the top 6 of the top 7 right now are all our chase drivers who are in the session so far. Alexander Kerfan not making it tonight, and Michael Kruger, he's not here. We don't know if he's going to make it in the next 10 minutes or not, but right now it is pretty tight out of our chase drivers.
No surprise, Josh. Of course, they're going to be towards the top of the charts. Six of those drivers make up the top 7 positions right now. So.
Right now we're watching Carl Felver, who is P1 on the practice charts. See something different though, Adam, and that is the orange banner and the orange spoiler on this truck here. It also has the orange splitter there on the front end, but that's going to signify the chase drivers.
It's a great notion to separate the 2 types of drivers we're going to have out on the track. Those racing for the title, trying to be conservative on the points situation, but of course, still threatening for the win. We expect them to contend for the win. And there's a number of non-chasers who are fast enough to compete for this win, and they don't really care about points as much as everyone else. They still want a good finish, but that's the second priority. Priority number 1 is a great finish tonight, and what's better finish than coming home with a Bristol win?
Yeah, if you can win at Bristol, you're already set yourself up pretty good. But if you can win in the first race of the chase and have it come here at Bristol, then you're off to a great chase in general for these last 4 races.
We'll see a patriotic look on this 15 truck, 4th of July weekend. See, of course, we mentioned he's top of the speed charts right now in this practice session. Josh, he's only 1 point behind Cameron Cardwell for the top spot in the reseeded chase points off of his 3 short track wins this year. He didn't get any points from his finish in the points, the regular season standings, because he was kind of a late entry into this chase situation.
Yeah, Felber is the only driver that was outside of the top 6 that had a win that was between 7th through 14th. And the win, well, 3 of them, definitely was the case to allow him to get into the chase. But the short tracks, I mean, as we've both already have said, Felber, he is strong on the short tracks. I expect him to be strong once again here tonight, as we're already seeing in practice just how much he is pacing Justin Arand, who is P2. It is .026 is the gap in practice right now.
Well, Josh, we just see Michael Kruger load into the sim. He just put in the chat that he has played 9 holes of golf already today, so long day for him, but he is set for this chase. Last entrant, but he's one of those top 4. We talked to him the other day for the ITPN report, and he seemed pretty confident into these final stretch of races. He says he wasn't the favorite, but he seems pretty optimistic with the reset.
And he already has 1 win on a concrete track as well. When we visited earlier in not Bristol, but Dover. Kruger, he's shown that he can win on concrete. See if he could get a second one of the season tonight. So that's going to make 7 drivers tonight that are in the chase racing tonight. You can see the difference on the ticker over on the left-hand side, the driver numbers. The drivers that are in the chase, they have a yellow and orange background, whereas drivers not in the chase just have an orange background. So currently the top 6 drivers all have that yellow and orange background, whereas Andrew Elias just has an orange background. So that is the difference between who is one of the chase drivers and who is not.
And as all these trucks sit here parked on pit road and the final minutes of practice, here's a good shot of the banners you mentioned beforehand. And the playoff agencies, the banners, the spoiler trim and the splitter trim.
Watching Cameron Caldwell turn some laps. He has Caleb Curry behind him. Justin Rand currently P2 on practice charts. Bringing it in. Here is Michael Kruger, who just joined the session. Of course, started off the season with the win at Daytona. And ever since then, he's been strong everywhere you put him at. As mentioned, his 2 wins of the season came at Daytona and at Dover.
And instantly he jumps inside the top 10, goes to 8th. So all 7 chasers that will participate tonight make up top 8 spots, as David Duran has jumbled up inside to P6 there. Pretty exciting to see these top 9 separated by 8 100ths of a second of each other, and the top 10 within an entire 10th.
Yeah, this race, it's going to be close. And you put them at Bristol for 200 laps. This thing could be very chaotic as well, Adam.
Yeah, that's what kind of all the drivers we talked to this week expected, Josh. So hopefully we have a clean going for those top 8, but they are kind of anticipating the opposite.
All right, it's getting to that time, Adam. Just about a minute and a half left in practice before we go to the JCTV qualifying session. So, who is your pick to win?
Well, I'm gonna go with the obvious choice for tonight's race. Carl Felver, he's been so strong on the short tracks, like we've mentioned. He doesn't really think that this racetrack races like the others he's won at this year. And remember the circumstances of his Richmond win. He wasn't the dominant truck. He kind of got lucky with a late restart, but he was in position. He needed to seize the opportunity, and he did. And that's what the chase is all about. I think he's going to set himself great tonight with a first win.
Justin Rand, he has come so close to getting his getting a win this season. Justin Rand currently sitting P3 on the practice charts. I think he's going to get it done tonight. You know, he's pretty good at short tracks as well, and he had been P2 in practice for a while until Caldwell just jumped over Durand to get into that P2 spot in practice. But look for Durand to be up front all night long, and I think he's going to take the win and start the chase off the way you want to start it off, and that is with a win here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And that does it for practice. We head on over to JCTV qualifying. And Adam, go take a guess who the first one out on track is.
Would that be the 62?
It is.
Well, he's the pole man this year, 4-time pole sitter. Let's see if he can continue that streak and earn himself an extra point before the race even begins today.
He made the chase, and he didn't even race last week. Zach Probst finished 1 point ahead of Brett Bennett to make the chase. Now, last week we left air, thinking that it was a dead tie. Either way, Probst was going to get the tiebreaker over Brett Bennett. But after officials reworked the finishing order, it was determined that there was a 1 point difference between Probst and Bennett rather than a tie. So Probst, he didn't have to do anything last week other than just hope that his points position was the right one, and currently sitting P2 on the board as Caldwell sits number 1. Here's a guy that's really good at short tracks. That is Kyle Amon, making his second start of the season. He finished second at IRP a couple weeks ago.
And Josh, he's the defending winner of this race back in the Winter Series. He won this race. It was a pretty green flag run to the end because we had a huge pileup early on, and it was pretty much green from there on. He dominated that. The only win in the league was this race last season, very early on in the league's history.
We go looking at Michael Kruger, currently P5 on the board. Kruger finishing his second lap. That's going to put Kruger P6. He did not improve. Justin Rand, currently P1. My pick to win, but here goes Carl Felver. See where he starts. Felver off turn 2 down the back stretch. A little bit loose there off turn 4, but P1 on the board. And he's not even going to take a second lap. He is happy with that.
Yeah, why not? 10th clear, or excuse me, 100th clear of the next truck. And with how close the competition's been so far tonight, see, he seems obviously pretty confident. We see all the chase drivers up towards the front of the field. The top 6, or excuse me, 7 of those chasers in the top 8. Here we see Brian C. Smith on track.
Brian C. Smith off turn 4. Currently P11. And P10. So improves by 1 spot. Matthew Stott's exiting pit road. Stott should be able to get just 1 lap in, maybe 2 here. P9 for Stotts on his first lap. Into the wall for the second lap. That's going to invalidate lap number 2. And with no other action on track, that is going to finish up the JCTV qualifying session. And Carl Felber will start off on the front row, starting P1 as JCTV qualifying award, pole award winner. So our picks to win, Adam, are currently 1-2.
Well, it seems easy so far. Well, got 200 more laps. See if they end though. Think they're gonna battle out all the way to the end too, but obviously we got 19 other trucks gridded up here who feel like they can say otherwise between these two.
Let's go ahead and look at tonight's starting grid. Carl Felver with the pole. To his outside, it's going to be Justin Oran. Cameron Caldwell is going to start P3 with Zach Probst. To his outside, P4, and Alonso Chicano will start in 5th.
David Durand is going to start alongside him in 6th, with Dalton Kelly, chase driver, in 7th, and alongside him, also playoff contender Michael Kruger in 8th. Matthew Stotts is 9th, and Kyle Amon rounds out the top 5 rows.
Brian C. Smith going to start on the inside of row 6 with Caleb Curry to his outside. Very late entry in this. Dawson Allen going to start in 13th with Brett Bennett to his outside in 14th, and Andrew Elias starting in 15th.
Gary Sack III starts in 16th, with Connor Darnell in 17th, and Dakota No to his outside in 18th. Brady Price and Tyler Watermullen round out the top 20 rows, or the top 20 starting positions, excuse me. And Ryan Simon rounds out the field in 21st place.
That is tonight's Martin starting grid. 2 laps make up the pace laps here at Bristol Motor Speedway, as it is a short track. So we're about to see that pace truck go down, and these drivers take the command to start racing. Restart rules in effect tonight from iRacing. So on the initial start, iRacing starts it. After that, anywhere inside the restart box, there is box on the outside wall. Green flag is displayed. We are underway. And Carl Felver off to a great start over Cameron Caldwell.
Yeah, he's clear to the lead. Cameron's going to take second position away from his teammate Justin Duran, who falls to third on the outside lane. Looks like he was going to clear that position. No, he's going to tuck back in line. Yes, indeed. Zach Probst up to fourth and Alonso Chicano fifth. Caution is out already, Josh.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but ticker is going to show green, but we are under yellow. Go ahead and take a look back and see what happened. Looks like the wreck was already happening there. Seems like
Matthew Stotts was spun around in the middle of the racetrack and a lot of other trucks involved.
Stotts self-spun, come up the track and got into Brian C. Smith. A couple of other drivers involved.
Yeah, Brian C. Smith, heavy contact there, the one who initially hit him, and then Dakota Knoll has damaged him as well.
Dakota Knoll, number 97, newcomer. It's going to be Connor Darnell.
Very unfortunate. That's the risk of starting at the back with no qualifying time. Matthew Stotts, he's newcomer to iRacing, very inexperienced at some of these places, and very, very few league racing starts. Saw he got loose and just spun it. He tried to keep it down low, but slammed the wall and came back up the track. Nowhere for those guys to go, really. Very, very unfortunate error there on the opening lap, pretty much.
Once again, we are under caution. Ticker does show that we are green, but a little bit of technical difficulties. I do want to give a big shout out to Cameron Caldwell for all the graphics and stuff that he does, for allowing me to do this broadcast to you guys alongside Adam Coop as well. He's working. He was working very hard today to get everything set up. A lot of new things that we're gonna show tonight. Top ticker being one of them, and depending on how the side ticker is gonna react tonight, we may have to use the top ticker all night. But we'll see once we go back green. I do expect them to take the choose here, and it appears that Felver takes the bottom, Caldwell with the top. Duran Probst with the bottom, and that's going to bring Alonso Chicano into row 2.
Surprised Caldwell took the top, considering he gained that second position on the bottom, but I guess that's the old adage, if you have the option to get the front row, take it. That's what he did here for this restart.
Pace truck's going to be in, and leader is going. Green flag back out. Caldwell, great restart there for Caldwell. He is able to maintain second place and clear Justin Duran, who's side by side with Alonso Chicano now.
Chicano easily going to take that third spot, whipping that higher lane. So we look back deeper in the field, Kyle Amon and David Duran side by side. A little squirrely there for Amon off corner. But he's going to get that position from the 24 truck.
David Durand is continuing to fall. Side by side with Brett Bennett. They're really tight. Bennett not giving David Durand much room at all. Oh, they're going to make contact. Bennett to the inside wall. Bennett saves it. Wow.
Very great save. That's one of those Bristol type of moves where you can easily wad up a bunch of more trucks. We've seen it time and time again here, and very great save from that 47 driver. Unfortunately, he put it on the wrong side of the track, and he missed the commitment cone, so this is going to be a very long and painful drive all the way down pit road for Brett Bennett.
We go up to the battle for the lead. Cameron Caldwell has not allowed Carl Felver to go away at all. One thing to note is Caldwell has said that he's not going to be able to race at Kansas for the season finale. So Caldwell, he's hoping that he can get wins at Bristol, Phoenix, and Martinsville. And pray he has a chance to hold on to the championship at Kansas. Zach Probst trying to get around Justin Duran. Justin Duran has the preferred lane around the top here, and Probst, he's got Kelly closing in. Probst and Duran still side by side. They're going to get real tight there. And Duran finally able to clear Probst. Here comes Dalton Kelly. Try to get to the outside, not allow Probst to slide up behind, but Probst now back to the inside of Justin Duran. Looking for the hole, he gets it. Once again, going back down to the bottom. Maybe not quite. Right around the middle.
Very close racing for these guys. Racing back end of the top 5. And Dalton Kelly in 6th. He's holding the last position in stage range for the points given at the lap 50 segment break. So very crucial for Dalton Kelly and really all these chasers to get points when they can. Obviously, with only 6 spots for 8 playoff contenders, obviously 7 out here tonight. So one guy's going to miss out.
And currently it is Michael Kruger who is P8. And Kruger, ooh, trouble just behind. Sure. I think that was Gary Sack that just hit the wall. And he did keep it straight.
Very great save there again. It was, Gary Sack who popped the wall for 4, but like you saw, and like we mentioned, Josh, able to hang on to it there as we see Kruger getting passed again, down to 9th by a pass from David Durand.
Kruger not doing the greatest. Not starting off this race how he wants to. Losing time to his fellow chase drivers, but Zach Probst was just passed by Kyle Lamont, so Probst drops out of position for getting a stage point.
Well, if he stays right here in line, he might be ready for a couple laps to retake that position. If Amon gets around Dalton Kelly, then they're going to be able to battle for that 6th position again. And Amon searching on that bottom, trying to get around that 45. He's been marching up through the field, slowly, lap after lap, trying to make his way up through the field like he did at Indy Raceway Park 2 weekends ago.
Zach Probst looking underneath Amon. Just going to lose time as Amon gets a great drive off the corner. Now Amon looking underneath Dalton Kelly. Riding on board with Kyle Amon and what it's like to go around this track.
And this is a good visualization of how running the top would be so much faster. You got so much open more hands running that top line. You're not confined to trying to pitch it down that bottom lane and make it so tight around the corners. You see these guys lap a truck right there. Very, very tricky racing quarters as Amon's going to dive it in deep all the way on the inside of Dalton Kelly and Justin Duran, not able to get the position on either one of them. As Alonso Chicano kind of holds these guys up in the back portion of the stage points as we have a caution on the track.
It is going to be Brady Price, I believe. Let's take a look back to see what happened.
There's a truck moments ago that the pack we just saw Kyle Amon just get around and contact with David Durant, send him to the wall. Very minor contact, but able to keep it going.
It's a pretty big hit.
Minor contact from Durant, I meant. It was a big hit with the wall. Well, this is going to be a little shootout to the end of the stage.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. A few drivers come down pit road. It's going to be Michael Kruger, Dawson Allen, and Gary Sack. We're going to step away for just a quick moment. We'll be back for the restart. Last week at Talladega, Brett Bennett's chase hopes were dashed after contact with Brandon Havens sent him around.
Alonso Chicano stole the stage away from Cameron Caldwell to secure the regular season championship.
On the last lap, Kyle Reuter stays ahead of the big one to claim the win in the MartinPC.com 200.
Pace Race 2 of the In the Pits News Truck Series is next Saturday night at Phoenix Raceway.
This is the Faces 200 at Bristol Motor Speedway. I saw a little bit of highlights there in that commercial you just saw. That was from Talladega last week where Kyle Reuter claimed the victory and crazy, crazy finish.
Indeed it was, Josh. It kind of left us breathless the couple moments after the checker flag flew. We really had to compose ourselves after that. And it's the drama, how not only how it ended the race, but how it seeded the chase, how we selected the 8 guys we got racing for the title in the next 4 weeks. So everything was on the line, and the schedule, the race delivered, I believe.
Here we see the choose rule in effect. Felver bottom, Caldwell top, Chicano bottom, Justin Duran takes the top. Dalton Kelly with the top, Amon on the bottom, and Zach Probst with the top.
Real quick before we go to green, excuse me, Josh. Michael Kruger, you mentioned pitted, not a bad call. We saw him bleeding positions. Let's see if he can make something new happen with those new tires.
Green flag in the air. Great restart out of Alonso Chicano on the bottom. Is he going to be able to hold off Caldwell? Caldwell with a great jump with that outside lane, or run off the outside lane. And I think Chicano may have gotten a little loose.
He's in trouble big time now because Kyle Amon got around him. Now here comes Justin Duran to his outside, his Vortex Racing teammate. And Dalton Kelly's Zach Probst still lined up. He might lose all these positions here in the final laps of the stage.
This is not at all what Chicano wants to see.
Top of the shop, Michael Kruger, he's back in position. He is flying through the field on the freshies. He might get stage points here. He's up to 7th on the back bumper of Chicano. For the final stage position, he's going to get it easily in turn 3 and 4. Chicano going to fight back into turn 1, can't do it, as Kruger goes on Dalton Kelly.
I think Kruger needs to also be careful with his tires. He does feel like Superman right now. But he might be able to stay out here at the end of this stage. Definitely needs to take care of those tires. Kruger up to P4 though. And looking underneath, Kyle Amon.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Josh, this is the time he kind of needs to get his head in check. Yes, this was great if he can go up there and win the stage, but in reality, he was going to get no points if that stage went green and he didn't take these tires. So he just needs to be happy with whatever points he can as he goes for P3. If the win is possible, take it, but he needs to be careful for the back end of the run, like you mentioned.
And Kruger has talked about before that he just wants stage points. It seems like every single week he is not in a position to get stage points. Right here, he's in position to get 5 points, and he's closing in on Carl Felver. Does he have enough time?
It's not be enough time. It's going to be close if he's going to be able to get to that 15 who's just been flawless so far tonight. But a great restart and drove away from the pack. Boy, he's getting closer and closer, though. He's so much faster right now with that fresh rubber.
He has a lap and a half to do it. It is at the conclusion of lap 50. And yeah, here comes Michael Kruger. One more lap for the stage. Kruger's going to have to try to get it through here, 1 and 2. It's going to be close. Felver leaves the door open. Felver's going to win the stage, though. But, wow, Kruger came close. And it is Cameron Caldwell, Kyle Amon, Justin Rand, and Zach Probst in the top 6. Dalton Kelly just missing out. Alonso Chicano, P9. Chicano dropped like a rock on that restart. Carl Felver is a stage winner. And we'll dial him up here once he is off pit road. And it appears that Michael Kruger did stay out where everybody else is coming down.
And that would be the smartest call for that 42. There's no sense of strapping on another set of tires and putting yourself even further back in terms of sets of tires. For tonight's race, like you mentioned, they only have so many sets. And if you run through 2 sets in the first 50 laps, you're putting yourself really, really on the back foot. Only 4 fresh sets in the pits. So he's got 3 left for the final 150 laps. Equal with everyone else, obviously, right now.
Carl Felver easily going to win the race off pit road. And Adam, let's have you dial up our stage winner.
Pico, you got a copy?
I do. How are you guys?
Doing good. Not as good as yourself, though. Pretty dominant stage win. Get really worried when you see that 42 fly up through the field like that on that restart?
Yeah, I wasn't too worried right away when he first got to second. I thought he just saved his tires really well. And then in that first lap when he was in second, I knew he had taken tires and he was coming. So I didn't think we were going to be able to hold on, but I was able to move up and basically take his line away. And I think that was the difference there. So just glad we were able to hold on to it and get that extra point.
Obviously, pretty great showing so far with that pole and the stage victory. How is it going so far? How do you think you expect it to go so far tonight?
Well, I've ran about 1,000 laps this week to try and get ready for this because Bristol's not one of my better tracks. So the pole kind of surprised me, but I thought we'd have a top 3 run. Being as dominant as we are has kind of surprised me a little bit, but hopefully we can maintain.
All right, well, good luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you.
And especially on this restart here.
Thank you.
Stage winner, Carl Felver, choosing the outside line for this restart.
Yeah, race leader, Michael Kruger with the inside here. Pace truck is going to come down to the safety of pit road. It is going to be on Michael Kruger. They're inside the zone. Kruger goes. I think Caldwell was expecting him to go just a little bit sooner, though, and now Caldwell challenging Felver for second position. Felver holding on strong on the top, though. Caldwell's going to get loose.
Spin it.
Probst around. Wow.
Wow, big contact for the 62. He's going to drive it away, though. Man, it all started with Caldwell pretty much driving onto the flat in 2 and 3. He got so loose, the truck just coasted onto the apron, and then they piled up behind him in 2 and 4.
Let's watch what happened. So we're going to watch from the restart. We'll see Caldwell get loose.
Got loose off of 2 and 2 also, and Kyle Amon almost gave him a shot right there down the back straight. Oh, Probst drove it into the door of Justin Durand, and that's what spun him. And got finished off by the other one, who was late to the scene and didn't really see Zach there, and contact from both Durands. Pretty much racing deer there as Caldwell got loose, like you mentioned, Josh.
Yeah, David Durand, of course. That truck that did get into the back of Probst. Probst's truck doesn't look horrible. It does look beat up, but it does not look too horrible, so Probst, he's not out of this. Bristol, not a track that you have to worry so much about aero like you would at a track like, say, Kansas that finishes off our regular season.
Really impressed there. Obviously, we didn't get a lot of racing in, but Kruger was able to keep the lead there. Obviously, with Caldwell having his situation there, but Felver wasn't able to pounce quite yet, so he'll be given the opportunity to pick the front row again for this restart.
And I was a little bit surprised to see Kruger take the bottom. He does have the first choice, and he is a control truck regardless whether he takes the bottom or the top. Wondering if Kruger might try the top this time or if he's sticking with the bottom. He could have Kyle Lamont behind him either way, because I expect Felver to stay on the front row. Kruger going up the track now, swerving down. So Kruger to the inside. As expected, Felver with the top, and Amon takes the bottom behind Kruger. Justin Rand's going to make up row 2 by starting on the outside. To go to Knoll. It's going to be third on that inside line with Dalton Kelly to his outside.
Andrew Elias behind him, so a bunch of non-chasers there on that bottom lane behind Kruger for this restart.
Pace truck goes into the safety of pit road, and once again, Michael Kruger is the control truck. He gets going, and Kyle Lamont underneath Carl Felver. Lamont might be able to clear Felver. He does. Felver, not a great restart at all. Now Amon, first truck with fresher tires over Michael Kruger, who did not come down pit road under the stage caution as expected.
Yeah, obviously something happened to Felver's truck on that restart. Looked like he didn't drive the same going into turn 1 like he expected, and it allowed Amon just to wheel it there underneath him on that bottom lane and get around him. Felver has settled into third ahead of Justin Duran. Dalton Kelly all over the back of that 20 truck trying to get him for P4.
Dalton Kelly running the high line, doing a great job at it as well. Really using up as much of the track as he possibly can, all the way up to the wall. Side by side for the lead. Amon with the top. Kruger allowed Amon to have the preferred lane. Now Amon's just going to drive off with it. Kruger falls to P2, and here we go. As we had talked about, one of those non-chasers with an opportunity to go out and steal a win here. Justin Duran.
Yeah, Justin Duran almost jacked the 15 backwards there off of turn 4. Felver looked like he got a little free on the exit of the corner, and Justin was all over the back of him. Still more momentum losing on that 15 truck now as he catches the worn tire 42, excuse me, in comparison to these guys.
Kruger runs the bottom here, which really surprises me. As
Felver with a great run on the exit of the corner, got to his inside and took his line away, Josh.
Yeah, and look at Kruger with the momentum on the high side now. And is going to pinch Felver down to the bottom. And that's what you got to do here at Bristol. Is not allow the car on the bottom to get a great run off. Now, you saw there, Kruger, a wider exit.
Kyle Mann's going to love this. He's just going to continue to gap the field with these two racing hard side by side. Especially with Kruger on his older tires situation, going to impede the progress of the guys on equal progress as equal tire, where, of course, the Simmers, wow, big slide off of turn 4. Justin Duran's going to race to his outside of Carl Felver because of that.
And Felver isn't able to sneak in front of the 20. Felver might lose another position with Dalton Kelly. Man, they are squirrely. Dalton Kelly's right there as well. And Felver could lose another one to Dakota Knoll.
Oh man, Felver trying to show the nose to make it 3 wide as Justin Duran splits the middle.
Oh man, this is white knuckle racing right here. As if we didn't see enough at Talladega last week. They're 2x2 here at Bristol. Kruger trying to hang on. Justin Duran doing a great job running the bottom, and here comes Dalton Kelly.
2x2 for P2. Duran with the advantage. He can't quite clear Kruger yet. He drove it down in there, deep into the corner. Wow. Wow, oh, Felver, huge sled again.
Felver loses a couple of positions there. Here comes Michael Kruger.
Crossover.
I think Kruger's going to lose a couple of them, and Felver's looking to the high side. Les Kruger can try to sneak up in there. Kruger might be a sitting duck right here, losing a ton of positions.
Yeah, very great move by Dalton Kelly there to literally slide in that position as they catch that lap truck at the 32 again, who moves out of the way. Here comes Cameron Caldwell out of nowhere to get by Dakota No, now trying to get by Kruger.
And Cameron Caldwell gonna start driving off the corner, almost clear. Caldwell's now clear over the 42. Michael Kruger slide up in front. Nope, not quite. Kruger with the run off. Battle for second continues between these three trucks, so pretty much the same, just without Michael Kruger. Dalton Kelly, I think it's been the highest we've seen out of anybody consistently.
And he's been having moments, handful of that truck almost every time leaving the corners. He is really swatting flies around this half-bank, steep half-mile.
This Faces 200 at Bristol Motor Speedway has been, so far, absolutely great racing. 86 laps in the books, almost. 114 laps to go here. Faces is craniofacial disorder. Ryan Vargas, NASCAR driver, NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, Ryan Vargas has a craniofacial disorder, and a lot of people. I don't remember the statistics off the top of my head, but great cause to get behind. Andrew Elias has put up money a couple times to have their names on the broadcast, so definitely like to see them on, around for a broadcast. And it's definitely been a great race. Dalton Kelly still trying to look to the outside of Justin Rand, but Justin is just not leaving a hole open for Dalton Kelly. And Carl Felver's going to start to close in and try to search on the bottom, see if he can get around. Not quite. We may have a wreck, though. I just heard some contact. Don't see anything. It might have been Brady Price. And Brady Price. Wow. Almost shuffled these guys up.
Yeah, very hairy moment that these three had to move up the track a little bit. Justin Duran, Dalton Kelly, and Carl Felver. They continue to race for this P2 battle. Felver's going to tuck back in line for a moment into third, but he's going to immediately take it right back down to the bottom of the track and go door-to-door for Kelly for P3.
Meanwhile, Cameron Caldwell, we kind of quit talking about him, but Caldwell is closing in on the battle in front. But he's got Alonzo Chicano underneath him, trying to fight for P5.
And Chicano has driven up a couple of positions gotten by Dalton Kelly, as Caldwell might have caught the wall there off of turn 4. So Chicano moved him up to that position.
And Dakota Knoll giving Caldwell a hard time on the bottom. No! Came up the track. Almost getting into that number 12 machine. Back to the battle for second place. And it's about to have another driver involved as Alonso Chicano has closed in very quickly on these guys.
That's what it is, Josh, right now, as we're about to get to halfway. Just a battle for second place, because as we saw momentarily there, Kyle Amon has driven away from these guys. He was Chicano diving it in deep on Felver there into turns 1 and 2 for that position on the 15 truck. Can't quite do it yet. He's going to try again in turn 3. Let's see if he has the momentum on the exit. No. Dalton Kelly with a huge run on Duran, though. Oh, man.
2x2 once again.
I thought they were all going to wash up into each other there for a moment, Josh.
Carl Felver finally gets by Dalton Kelly. And Dalton Kelly going to lose another spot, possibly to Alonso Chicano. Kelly does. Chicano goes to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide for second place. Wow, real tight racing. Carl Felver might get 2 for 1 here as he's still underneath the 20 machine of Justin Duran, but Justin fighting back on the outside.
Wow, tons of close calls for that moment to even happen as Felver continues to drive it on the bottom into second position. Had a moment there to clear the 20 truck, just couldn't quite do it. They're equal into turns 3 and 4.
Wow. This has just gotten so much intense. As if it wasn't already. And Justin Duran now trying to... Oh, gets loose into Felver just a little bit there. Duran is going to clear Felver. Felver going to tuck in behind the number 20. And they got a lap truck ahead. Felver around. Caution is out.
Wow, he did a great job there not spinning it around and making more damage to that truck, but very slow slide. Wow, that was just bound to happen with the intensity these guys are racing. Hot lap truck of, I believe, Gary Sack in the entrance of the corner, and they just kind of all stacked up into one place, and Alonso tried making it 3 wide, and I don't think Carl Felver anticipated that, trying to get around Justin Duran himself.
Yeah, they were trying to look 4 wide, if anything, there, and that was the result of that. Kyle Lamont, he did not want to see this caution come out because that just relinquished his huge lead that he had. But every driver looked like they're going to come down pit road. And for Michael Kruger, I think this caution came out at a great time because Kruger was about to go 1 lap down. Kruger currently scored P9, 11 trucks on the lead lap, but Amon is fast. He was not too far behind Michael Kruger.
Oh, absolutely, Josh. And not only that, does it put him on the same tire strategy. So, yeah, we saw him off pace very early in the race. So, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to contend unless he goes off strategy again. But it does put him back so he's not in position to lose laps under green like that again, hopefully, unless we see another long green flag going, which is very possible. And we, of course, know how fast this 17 truck is as he leaves his pit stall and easily clears the race off a pit road.
And we're going to go ahead and quickly step away. We'll be right back. Last week at Talladega, Brett Bennett's chase hopes were dashed after contact with Brandon Havens sent him around.
Alonso Chicano stole the stage away from Cameron Caldwell to secure the regular season championship.
On the last lap, Kyle Reuter stays ahead of the big ones and claimed the win in the MartinPC.com 200.
Chase Race 2 of the In the Pits News Truck Series is next Saturday night at Phoenix Raceway.
This is the In the Pits News Truck Series Faces 200 Chase Race number 1 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Kyle Amon is your race leader. We are under caution after contact with that sent Carl Felver around. Lap truck was just driving around, and Justin Duran, Alonso Chicano, Carl Felver, they all caught the lap truck and made things really hairy. Let's go ahead and, while we go back green, we'll turn it up.
Oh, trouble, Dakota no slides and spins right in front of the field. Looks like a lot of trucks were able to safely manage around it, Josh, as that was a very scary moment on this restart.
And luckily, Dakota Knoll was able to keep it from completely going around, but
right next to and in front of Chase driver Michael Kruger. And contact from Dalton Kelly down the back straightaway is what triggered it. We saw him slide going into turn 3. And wow, Kruger just barely avoided it there.
Kruger, Kelly, and Felver all extremely close there.
That is Bristol Motor Speedway. It happens so fast, and you see just a slight little contact right there in turn 2, wrecked Dakota Knoll in turn 3, and it could have piled these guys up in turn 4 dramatically. But like you mentioned, barely squeaked by.
Great heads-up driving out of Kruger, Felver, Dalton Kelly. Not to have that go way south for them, as of course Felver was just involved in that accident for the reason we were just coming back from caution. This race is not how Felver wanted to start off the chase by any means, as he's sitting in pits getting some damage repair done to his number 15 Ford. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, Josh, talked to him, like 75 laps ago, and he seemed pretty surprised he was running up front. And now he's got the cool Bristol reality and how things change so fast, back-to-back cautions like you mentioned, and he's honestly lucky to continue the way this race has been, so with the way things could have been. He could have been wrecked already. We saw a pile up on lap 1, knock a couple trucks out, so...
We are going to go green with about 82 laps to go. If they take the 1 to green here. And it does appear like they are. As you see Kyle Amon take the top, Alonso Chicano and Justin Duran take the bottom. Dalton Kelly take the top. This has surprised me a little bit, because we know for Dalton Kelly, he's been running the high line a lot. He seems to be the only one that is going up right up against that wall. So for Justin Arant, take the bottom here. Kind of surprises me that he would allow Kelly to just get to the outside of row 2. But we're going to go back green inside the restart zone. Kyle Lamont gets going. And a little bit of a stack up behind.
Yeah, stack up. Behind Alonso Chicano is Michael Kruger, almost running in the back of Andrew Elias. And you see Carl Felder right behind this too. Kruger's going to get to the inside of Caleb McCurry, who he started there in 6th position.
Go to the battle for the lead. Alonso Chicano underneath Kyle Amon. First one that's really had a challenge for Amon all night as far as trying to get by him, but Amon passing him. Strong run on the outside. And look at Andrew Elias in 5th place, trying to challenge a couple of the chase drivers. Looking underneath Justin Arant. Currently, this race has a non-chase driver out front, followed by 3 chase drivers. And 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Andrew Elias, not a chase driver, P5. And then 3 more chase drivers in 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Elias still looking for more positions, peeking to the inside of Justin Durand on the front straightaway, who's peeking now on Dalton Kelly in 1 and 2.
And here comes Michael Kruger. Coming into the picture as Elias gets super loose. Kruger gonna look to try to get around that 44 machine. And you know, one thing that, oh man, Elias super loose. Once again, saves it. I was gonna say, one thing that really surprises me is the fact that Michael Kruger has been running the bottom all race long, but meanwhile, these two are battling hard.
The slide. That slide was to take that position, and it was a pretty informative way to do it, sliding right in front of Dalton Kelly like that. And he's able to manage and hold on to that position. Not able to drive away just yet, as Kelly's trying to switch around, trying to get back around that 20 machine.
Now you see Dalton Kelly really for the first time trying to search around on the bottom to look to get around Justin Arant. Kelly loose off the exit of turn 4.
Out for P3, Kelly's starting to lose a little ground on that 20 machine. Here comes Michael Kruger trying to run these guys down though, as we just saw him take that position. Kelly with a huge run into turn 1 and 2.
And Justin Arant got super loose on the exit of turn 4 that last time by. That allowed Kelly to close in on the front straightaway and start to run the high line right up against the wall as he has all race long. And once again, going down to the bottom. Now Justin Durand leaves the top open for Dalton Kelly. Durand with a great center through the corner. Once again, Kelly coming up to the back of Justin Durand. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Dalton Kelly. think Kelly got the wall that last time by. See Dalton Kelly entering up high and then just cutting down on exit. Whereas Justin Rand's kind of doing the opposite, entering low and then going high on exit.
Rand continuing to slide the truck. He slid off at 2 and 4 again there, but driving away from Don Kelly little by little right now.
Alonso Chicano has really come out of nowhere late in this race. Chicano is up to P2 and didn't waste no time getting to that second position, where it seemed like Justin Rand, Dalton Kelly were the ones battling for that second position for the longest portion of this race. Alonso Chicano drove away very quickly. Got a battle between Kruger and Caldwell for the 5th position. Kruger started off the race struggling a lot. Finished 2nd in the stage after a little bit of a strategy call and led some laps. Worked his way back up to the top 5. That's where Michael Kruger sits. It's 55 laps to go in the Faces 200 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Cameron Caldwell going to look underneath 42, Michael Kruger. Kruger with the stronger run on exit, using the top, and then Kruger goes right back to the bottom, where he's felt most comfortable.
And felt right behind these guys, Felver and Dakota Nola running them down, both involved in cautions in the last couple laps. See the damage on the right side of the 5, left side of the 15's all torn off, but it's not slowing them down any at the moment.
For Carl Felver, he needs to get going, see if he can get that truck into higher gear. Right now just battling with Dakota Knoll for the 7th position, but he sees those 2 trucks in front starting to really battle each other pretty hard. Drivers have pretty much spread out away from each other. This is the closest battle, and this is battle for 5th position. Cameron Caldwell once again tries to look underneath Michael Kruger. Kruger with the stronger exit using the high line. And both these drivers are chase drivers. Of course, drivers that aren't in the chase still have every right to race these guys. But for Kruger, he's wanting to keep this position over Cameron Caldwell for just another point into the chase, and it could all be decided by 1 point.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned in the start of the show, that's who determined who made it into the chase to begin with. Just 1 point separated them. So as Caldwell continues to hound the 42 truck just lap after lap, threatening on the bottom of the racetrack, slides again off of turn 4. Now he finally has to slide into line, but he's not leaving that 42 too far in his windshield.
And Caldwell's going to be right there at the exit of turn 4. He's again trying to look underneath. Caldwell running the middle. Really forcing Kruger to use as much of the top as he possibly can. Caldwell's going to slide it in there. Kruger with the crossover move, going to look underneath. Now Caldwell's got the advantage. Just going to start driving away on that high line. Meanwhile, Dawson came down pit road and currently sits 3 laps down. But Dawson has 4 fresh tires on his number 79 machine. So you're going to see him just blow past these guys, and he's going to feel like Superman. Only 3 laps down. We'll see what he's able to do. And it's got me thinking, are these guys going to have to pit? These are going to be pit stop. Another pit stop tonight. They're going to have 96 laps.
I believe they'll comfortably make it, Josh. The only thing is, if we see a caution, they'll definitely want new tires. I think they're good on fuel, but depending how fast Dawson Allen is, someone on the lead lap might see that, and why not? You can't win the race doing what the leaders are doing. It's the long shot strategy, especially here at Bristol. I mentioned it. If you do that strategy and you get caught with the caution, your night is over.
Very interesting to see how these guys handle this. 35 laps to go. In the Faces 200. Kyle Amon continuing to lead, and Amon leads by over 3 seconds over Alonso Chicano.
Oh, and also, Josh, to add on to that, I think if someone were to do that on the lead lap, they would have had
caution is out
already, and that changes everything. So never mind.
I have no idea where it came from.
It looked like there was a truck spun on the front straightaway, spun out.
I don't like this already. Carl Felber, Michael Kruger battling.
It was Gary
Sack. Man!
Yeah. Oh, what a ride he took. Tried getting out of the way, and boy, he did for those guys. Not the way he wanted to do so, though. That was shades of, wow, Casey Kane.
I was thinking Lightning McQueen, except going the opposite way.
And then he jammed the brakes there, and I think that's what put the caution out, but trying to tow it back. Wow, what a ride for Gary Sack.
And everybody brings it down pit road.
Unfortunately, Dawson Allen's going to be trapped several laps down, so any positions he really could have gained on that strategy completely out the window, so it completely went the wrong way for that 79 machine.
Race off pit road should easily go to Kyle Amon, as it does. Alonso Chicano coming off second, Justin Rand in P3. P4 is going to be Cameron Caldwell, with fifth going to Michael Kruger, Dalton Kelly, Dakota Knoll, and Andrew Elias. We've had a lot of drivers parking tonight. Biggest name, though, that has brought it down to the garage is the number 62, Zach Probst, who looks like is going to finish 14th unofficially tonight after starting in 4th place. Not the way Probst has wanted to start his chase.
An unfortunate ending to his night after being involved in that crash very early on. And one thing to note, he parked his truck running in 13th, and we saw Brady Price continue to race for several laps until he got around the 62, who had been in the garage already, so he gained another position, and that takes a point away from the 62 machine as we see the choose cone for this restart.
Kyle Lamont chooses the high side. Alonso Chicano going to take the inside, and Justin Rand. Cameron Caldwell, row 2 with Durand outside, Caldwell inside. Dalton Kelly outside row 3. Michael Kruger inside row 3. Base truck is going to make its way to pit road. They're inside the restart zone, and Alonso Chicano did not get going at all. But good news for Chicano is he's going to be clear of Justin Rand, so Chicano maintains P2.
Over and Caldwell continue to fight side by side on this restart, Josh.
Caldwell stuck to the inside. Kruger rolling that outside lane, which is the preferred lane. Here comes Dalton Kelly, though. If Kelly gets up there, Caldwell could lose a few, but Caldwell trying to stay super strong here on the inside. Gonna try the slide job. Kruger with the crossover to the inside of the 12, Cameron Caldwell, but it ain't gonna be enough. It's Caldwell now going to start driving away from that 42.
This race ticking off so quickly. They know it's crunch time now. Just 25 laps to go. 24 now at Bristol is not anything.
My telemetry is saying 6 minutes left in this race if it stays green here to the end. You're talking about 4 laps a minute. This thing is going to be over in a blink of an eye. So these guys, they're pushing. And right here is leader Kyle Lamont running the bottom. Alonso Chicano trying to close in on Kyle Lamont. Alonso Chicano right now has the bonus point for having the fastest lap in the session, but Kyle Lamont has been the fastest truck these last few times around, so Chicano really needing to figure something out here with just a short amount of laps left. He wants to try to catch up to that number 17. He's continuously been the fastest truck.
Off turn 4 last time by Justin Durand with another mega slide. He's continuing in 3rd, but he's losing ground on that battle for 4th. But there's still door-to-door, Josh. I thought it was over, but Kruger taking the fight back to the inside of Caldwell. They both get free off the exit. I thought Caldwell had it again, but both trucks got upset. Now Caldwell off of turn 2 gets the position for the time being. Here comes Dalton Kelly threatening Kruger for his position now. Battle for P5.
Kelly into the wall. So both these drivers, one's been a bottom feeder, the other has been a high roller. And wow, Dakota Knoll in the wall. Dalton Kelly going to get around Michael Kruger, and might have been a little bit of neck coat contact there between Dakota Knoll and Michael Kruger. They keep going straight though.
Knoll's going to get that spot, and Kruger's going to tuck in line right behind him. It's Dalton Kelly, Lewis, so Scarlett Felver. Everyone's kind of barely hanging on to their race trucks right now. Final 20 laps. Chicano all the way up by the wall now. He's not letting Kyle Amon get far away like he has been, like the whole field has been up to this point in the race.
Last few times around, it has been Alonso Chicano, and as soon as we go to talking about Alonso Chicano, it goes right back to Kyle Amon being the fastest truck last time by.
Well, I think it might be Chicano went back to the bottom. He had been running the top like you mentioned, like we saw, so the times were going down, but now they're going back up, and the gap is extending just little by little as we close in to what is now 11 laps to go.
Very interesting to see just how different the lines are working for these drivers. Now you can't even see the 17 ahead of the 25. Kyle Lamont seems like he's in a whole zip code of his own, because he has pretty much all night.
He did not set a qualifying lap, so he started at the back and he slowly munched his way through the field. Very quiet in the opening stage, but managed to spoil the party there. Didn't get the win, but he was up there, and now he's been sailing ever since.
Alonso Chicano, he's got a battle now to hold on to that second position as Justin Rand has caught up to Alonso Chicano.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun fight. This is for the top spot out of the chase drivers tonight, obviously, with Amon being the short track spoiler. But Durand on the inside of his teammate there momentarily. Now to the back bumper again. He needs to try to find a way around Chicano quickly. Very tight there off of two between the two of them.
Five laps to go in the Faces 200 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Justin Rand trying so hard to get underneath Alonso Chicano, make it stick, and try to get the second position away from Alonso Chicano. Durand's only got just a few more laps to try to get it done, and Cameron Caldwell right up there to spoil this party of Justin Rand and try to gain a couple positions of his own.
All three of them obviously going to be on the attack here. Great run for Durand through turns 1 and 2. He's door-to-door with Chicano into 3. He's going to slide up a little bit on the entrance, and what a great drive off. Let's see if he can finish the job.
Not quite through 3 and 4, but into 1 and 2. Durand is going to take the slide job, and Chicano can't take the crossover because Caldwell is right there. Caldwell loose underneath Alonso Chicano. White flag is waving.
Buxton Chicano for that position. He's going to lose it to Caldwell.
Off turn 4. It is going to be Kyle Lamont to take the win. And Cameron Caldwell with third over Alonso Chicano.
Very close quarters racing there as Amon celebrated with a slamming that inside wall coming across the finish line. And lap check of Dawson Allen kind of got in the middle of that too with the rest of the field finishing, but dominant effort for this 17 machine and a great battle all the way to the end for those chasers trying to get every point position available.
Your race winner, Kyle Lamont. Back-to-back at Bristol.
Sure, he's going to be really, really ecstatic to get this victory. We know how disappointed he was with himself after an error he committed at IOP last season. Threw the win away, he said himself, and collected another driver. 2 weekends ago at IOP, finished runner-up to Carl Felver. Felt like he had race-winning capability there and just didn't get the job done. So I'm sure he's very proud of himself to put on a clinic like that tonight.
All right, well, Adam, I believe you've caught up with our third-place finisher, Cameron Caldwell.
Yeah, Cameron, pretty competitive race there tonight. What more did you need to get around Justin Duran in those final laps?
I think I just needed more laps, honestly. I'm not really sure if I had anything for him, whether I was faster than both him and Alonso or if Alonso was holding him up, but I would have liked to see how it would have gone if we had a few more laps. But overall, definitely a good run at the end for me after how the first half of the race or so went. Definitely happy to bring him a third. It was really a tough race. It's a lot of attrition, but yeah, Justin and Alonso and Kyle obviously were really fast, and I know Carl was really fast too, and he had some issues, but sometimes you take it how you get it.
You battled with Kruger a lot there in the final third of the race. How was that battle with him, and pretty much door to door for the most of it, and how tough was it to pass tonight?
That battle was severely frustrating. Just watching, I think it was Justin and Dalton take off from us, and him having the whole back half of the field backed up behind him. It's just really frustrating. I get we're in the playoffs or chase or whatever, and we got to battle for positions here, but it was just really frustrating. So it is what it is. Obviously got around him, so we'll take what we can get. But otherwise, yeah, that sucked. Not too happy about it, but it is what it is.
Who do you like to shout out after that third place run tonight?
Obviously, I had Grid Network on the truck tonight, so shout out to them. Nice new scheme. Kind of I reused this scheme from a while ago, so I'm happy. It's a scheme I liked, so I'm happy it gets used again. Also shout out to In the Pits News, C2 Graphics, Left Coast Rivals, RPS Marketing, Molecular Massage Therapy, ACO Digital, my teammates at Radius, you guys for broadcasting, the fans for watching, my parents and friends for watching, and we'll see you guys at Phoenix next week.
All right, congrats again, and see you next week.
All right, yep, thanks guys.
And that was Cameron Caldwell, tonight's third place finisher. We go to our runner-up tonight, Justin Aran. Hey, Justin, you had a fast truck tonight. I jokingly, when I was talking to you before I went on air, I told you that you were going to be the guy that I picked to win. Kind of as a commentator's curse, I jokingly said it, but after seeing you in practice, you actually were my pick to win. Not as a commentator's curse, but because I genuinely thought you could get it done. You came close. You had a fast truck, but just that battle there with Carl Felver, Alonso Chicano, Dalton Kelly. What was that like just for several laps? You guys were 2x2.
Oh, I mean, it was intense. I mean, with how fast this half mile is, I mean, you're really close to a lot of people. And I had to burn up the stuff a lot just to hold off both Dalton and Carl. They were coming. It's kind of difficult just to pass on the inside, which probably used up Carl's stuff as well. And then, Alonso at the end, that last caution, I know he was going to be charging as hard as he could to get to Kyle. And so I figured he started losing up his long run speed the longer that run came on, and I got him about a couple to go, and Cam eventually got him too. So, it was a good run, back-to-back runner-up finishes, so, second place is a pretty good way to start the playoffs. I wish I actually did make your pick come true and take the W there, but another congrats to Kyle. He was just really, really fast all night, as you could see.
So with that late caution coming out, what was the mindset like? Did that change anything for how you were going to drive the truck to the finish?
I actually did not want the caution to cut out. I was pretty content with third place. I felt like that's kind of where I was going to be able to run. I felt with everybody obviously coming in to take tires, I was going to lead some pretty aggressive sends on that restart. Luckily I didn't get caught up in anything. Luckily everybody kept it clean too, and I was able to eventually get past Alonso.
All right, well, is there any shout-outs you'd like to give? Who gets done behind the 20 machine?
Just the whole teammates. It's a very good day for us. We ran second, third, and fourth. Just try to bring the fastest trucks every week. Obviously, I got probably the best looking truck thanks to Cam. So just a shout out to those guys. We'll hopefully try to keep it going next week in Phoenix.
All right, well, congrats on the second place finish. We'll see you next week in Phoenix.
Thank you. See you guys next week.
And that was Justin Duran, tonight's runner-up. And Adam, you're in victory lane with tonight's winner, Kyle Lamont.
Yeah, Kai, congrats on the victory. Pretty dominant performance. First off, you had to drive through the field. How was that tonight to open up that stage?
It was fun. I enjoyed driving through the field. I'd rather start in the back than on the pole. Honestly, I got lucky tonight. 15 was class of the field in the first stage, and if he didn't get boxed in on the restart after the stage, he would have been gone by the time I could get going. It took me about 20 laps to really start rolling.
Well, you really took off on all those restarts. What went through your mind when that caution came out in the final 40 laps?
Frustration. Yeah, I don't know why he decided to stop there. I could have pulled off into pit road and stopped, but I guess he felt that was a good spot, and I don't know. It is what it is, but it worked out in the end.
It was good to see you dominate and park in victory lane tonight. Who'd you like to shout out after a pretty class of the field performance at Bristol yet again?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my brother. He got the truck going again this week. We pulled it off the stands, last night. Decided to go racing, so I got to thank him. Got to thank EPI, Apex Designs. Let's see, Buzz Chew, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Red Bull, some High Noon, and hopefully I can get on the podcast this week.
Sounds like a plan. Congrats on the win again, Kyle.
Thank you very much.
That was race winner, Kyle Lamont. So, Adam, that is race number 1 complete in the chase. We have 3 races remaining. Next week is Phoenix. And another short track, but a lot different than this one. Some could argue it's a speedway. Some could argue it's a short track. This is 1 mile in length, but it's flat. It's flatter than Bristol.
Definitely going to be tricky situation there going to turn 1 on a lot of the restarts and the initial start. A lot of these guys have been talking about how they're not really used to that yet. So the opening laps are definitely going to race like a short track, especially going into 1 and 2 for the first time. And if we get a late race restart, it might get crazy. We've seen that before there at Phoenix.
I'm definitely looking forward to Phoenix. I'm not quite sure if I'll be up in the booth or not. Last week, we finished off the air with Andrew Eliason here talking, and said that he wants me to do another race, and we did a little bit of talking, and I've been given the okay to do another race. we'll see if Dawson is able to do the broadcast. But otherwise, I'm planning on being in the booth. Looking forward to Phoenix one way or another. But yeah, I think Phoenix. It's going to be another great race, different kind of race than what we saw tonight, of course. But regardless, it should be a great one. But that's gonna wrap things up. From Bristol Motor Speedway for the Olympics News Truck Series Faces 200. Chase race number 1. Can catch pre-race action at Phoenix, 7:45 Eastern. Thank you for tuning in. Happy 4th of July weekend. Stay safe, guys. Don't drink and drive. And, have fun. But be responsible while doing so. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you next week at Phoenix. Last week at Talladega, Brett Bennett's chase hopes were dashed after contact with Brandon Havens sent him around.
Alonso Chicano stole the stage away from Cameron Caldwell to secure the regular season championship.
On the last lap, Kyle Reuter stays ahead of the big ones and claimed the win in the MartinPC.com 200.
Chase race 2 of the In the Pits News Truck Series is next Saturday night at Phoenix Raceway.